Good, how are you?
Good.
Same things. Hi, I'm Dan Contelmo, I'm the architect, and this is Bobby Waddell, the owner. Hey. So we just recently got a variance, which is rather minor, but the house is non-conforming as it exists, so anything that we did pretty much needed the variance, even though we're, I don't have to get the variance from you, but even though what we're building is in line with what's already there, so. So you do have all of this, and you can see the existing. I brought this too, just because it helps to see, like the biggest change is to the front of the house. And the idea was to modernize it in a sense, not to be modern architecture, but in other words, like the very shallow roof lines, and there's some odd roof lines going on the side too. So the thought was, in raising the pitch, we could bury that condition. So that was one of the first things that we started with, and then we wanted to accentuate the entry, which right now is just in line with the garage doors, and there's no distinction to it as far as the roof line goes. And in doing so, the front elevation that we have there, in adding the
Is there no second story in the existing house?
there is, it's inside, it's in the roof of the second floor. So, but there's low headroom because there's no dormers. But it's a significant second floor space. So this is the main roof running through, and these windows are these. But this is their primary suite as it exists, but again, it's just, you know, a low slope. So by getting the dormer here, we're at least able to get some, you know, a new legitimate bathroom for them. No real changes in there, except that they use this right now as like a playroom, and this tower, if you want to call it that, on the front would just give them a little more space in that for the playroom, and clearly delineate the entry.
So the ceilings for the front rooms are staying, you're just really adding an attic space?
Yes. And then down below, it gives us, again, an opportunity to get a little more space because you come in and you're confronted with the stairs right away. It's a typical split level house.
No work on the other elevations, or?
It's mostly siding, but so we just do, you know, before and after sort of here. So you take this one, for example. This is how they got headroom in the back by kicking up, you know, a shed dormer, whether original or whatever. But it throws off the roof line. I mean, it's not balanced. Sure. So we're bringing that line back down to, you know, give it a nice ridge look, and then this will all be behind it.
That's existing, yeah?
Existing, new.
Does it say it's
It's proposed. I'm sorry.
No, we got it.
Yeah,
Because there's
good.
one is.
Sorry about that. And then we'll add a second level to the decks coming down and being rebuilt, but in the same place. And then from their bedrooms, they'll be able to walk out onto that.
You reskinning the house and putting on the windows?
All new windows, all new siding. Because the siding is, well, there's brick here which is painted, But it's the typical large exposed shingles. Which kind of, you know,
Yeah.
gives it away as house 50s, or, you know, that kind
Sure.
of, so, you know, I mean, they're all like that at some point. So again, this roof line the roof line from the front continues all the way back, again, to bury this sort of nasty roof over here.
Where are those windows underneath, it's just up in the attic, or are they
Yeah,
all the
they're
spaces?
really just to add character to the gable, not for any useful purpose inside.
So on this side elevation, the tower looks like it's separate from the house or forward of the house?
We really just did it with a tiny bump just to delineate the line of the tower.
Okay.
But it's attached.
Okay.
So, yeah, see it right there, there's just a little bit.
Oh, okay. This was okay. The stone.
Yeah, you've got a thick line and a light, it's the.
Yeah,
it's a red.
this is existing brick.
Yeah.
But that's just this little piece of.
Yeah.
And actually, unfortunately, this part of it's buried because there's existing grade there, so we don't love that, but that's the way it exists. Because on the front, we brought the brick around, so, you know, we'll paint that to match the other, but right here, the grade jumps up.
It's metal roof, what color?
This would be a metal roof. I don't really talk about color. I'm thinking, did we discuss it, the house being white?
I know my wife Jessie has I think the color is like white and also kind of like grayish blue,
Okay.
like accent color
Okay,
on like shutters and whatnot. But I would defer to her.
yeah.
The roof material?
A lot of
This
times,
is metal, I mean.
yeah, a lot of times we're using charcoal shingles.
Mhm.
And then I have a discussion with clients about whether or not I prefer this to be sort of a galvanized look rather than color. And that's usually a battle, but I like this to be sort of subdued, not black or blue, you know, that kind of thing. I like, because it's more traditional as something that looks like it's a lead coated copper roof that's silver,
Sure.
so.
Comment, Jim?
Okay,
I'm fine with it.
okay too.
It looks nice.
Yeah, some nice improvement, just that little ridge line ring down helps out.
Yeah, and that's the side that you do see when you're driving down the road, the first side that you see.
Okay.
You're pretty
Very nice.
Okay,
Nice
Thank
work.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thanks. I guess I'll fix it.
Did you get this?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Tom, how are you?
Well, good, sir. How are you?
Good.
Next application is 18 Castle Road. These are
Hello.
pictures. Hi.
Hi.
You're good.
I don't know whether it was on, but I don't think so.
No, just Tom.
So the owners at 168 Castle Road are looking at adding a second story addition to their home. It is currently a fairly small 2-bedroom house. It has a finished basement on a 1/4-acre corner lot. If you have a look at the photos, I think they sort of describe it's basically a single story sort of ranch. Like I think it was built by a builder in Matt Kisco that built a whole bunch of these. But we are looking at adding a second story addition. We're looking at maintaining the existing sunroom on the left hand side, the living room on the left hand side as well, and then using going up over the existing basement stair, we'll be coming up to the addition that's on the right hand side of the house. So as the two main gestures would be a dormer that would sort of pop out where the primary bedroom is on the far right hand side, and it would also keep the line, the overhang sort of butting into that dormer at the far right hand side. So we would recess this addition, so this would be a sort of small roof overhang that would come over the front door. It's basically a complete gut renovation of the house, except for a couple of windows in this space and in the existing sunroom. In this section, we would largely be replacing all the siding, all the windows, reconfiguring much of the layout to make the kitchen a little bigger downstairs, and then upstairs locating a bedroom in the front in this addition and a bedroom in the back in this addition. And then it's a little bit of a tricky layout, but we're managing to also fit a bathroom, a hall bath, and a primary bath. The owner wants to keep the addition off to the right because they want to do a vaulted ceiling in the current living room, which is here. So they don't really want to go across the whole top and come out. We looked at a couple of different massings. I think that this dormer just gives the house a little bit more character. Some of the houses on the street have sort of Tudor houses, and they actually really like that, but that's kind of difficult to achieve without bumping out the foundation. So we're sort of going for a cottage style sort of. The overhang is 1'6", so I think that would maintain proportionally better than 2 feet, just because of the scale of the house. We're looking at replacing the shingle. Currently it's a painted cedar, which they don't like. It's like a brown. It just ends up being brown stain. So they're looking at replacing all the siding with a straight edge, like a shingle, hardy shingle with a 6-inch exposure. Replacing the roof, and then doing a board button features up the top at the gable ends, and also around the dormer at the front.
Is it gonna be hardy plank?
This will be hardy plank.
Does it look like this? This looks like the shingles.
It will be a shingle. There's a little sample here.
Does hardy plank come in?
Yeah, it comes in sheets.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It would be a.
So it would look like that. That's the actual hatch. And then I've detailed it with a series of trims, a crown board, and basically try and really elevate the house. It's sort of a cottage now. The footprint isn't big, but I think this is detailed correctly, and I was interested in it. I think it'll be
Where's the legend for this? It refers to some materials, yeah? Oh, I see.
I mean, the material palette's fairly simple, it's really just this shingle and then
So what's one?
board and batten will be painted white.
That's also already.
Yes, that would be a hardy plank, board and batten.
And those are the two colors?
They're interested in this colour here, which is Navajo beige, and this white.
I think it's
I'm okay.
nice massing, I think it works with the neighborhood really well.
My only comment is these two awning windows, everything's got, grills and everything looks so consistent, and then you've got these picture windows.
I have looked at that. Unfortunately,
This awning window might be functioned, the double hung, but can't you get grills in it?
I think we'll do grills in this one. I actually realized that this one I think has a hatch, so we would probably add grills. Sorry, it may have been reversed in the model. Close with that one. As it is.
Otherwise you're gonna look, dry's gonna go right to it.
No, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Nice
Alright.
detail.
This is done in
So
red.
Daisy just the two.
This is in red.
The two windows with the grills.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Now I will. No, the first one was kind of nice. But I don't think it was.
Hello, you can come in.
Good evening.
Hello.
How's it going?
So this is the whole part. Oh, this is the
Yeah.
pictures.
Pictures. So what we're looking to do is add a front portico and and rearrange some of the windows in the front. There's one facade that's right here. There's just a blank facade, you can see it there. So we're adding two windows. And we're removing this, there's a little portico, a little cover, we're doing a flat roof. And then we're just adding another window in the corner for the bathroom. So mostly a portico and some window for the outside, and then inside is just a total kind of knocking down some walls, rearranging a couple of things inside. Which window are you adding or taking off?
This one.
We're adding this window, and we're
Those
adding
two.
two more here. Yeah, you can see on that facade right there, there's nothing
There
there.
is. And this one, why doesn't look aligned with anything?
No, because it's inside the bathroom, so it's hard to align it with everything. And honestly, this wasn't aligning, so I thought it was kind of funny to try to get that to work anyway. So I thought this was a nice result.
What was on top of the entrance before?
The silly, a silly little kind of like A-frame that trapped the water in the corner.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It was going back towards the house?
Yeah, no, it's like an A-frame that's just in front. You can see in one where this glass, two-story glass thing is, it used to dump the water into that corner.
Yeah.
It's just a terrible design.
Yeah.
And it really didn't fit with the house, it was too. Yeah. So now we're just doing a little flat roof. In the back, we're adding a couple of sliders, and keeping everything kind of.
They're working it back too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so all of that, they got all the elevations. Side, we're adding two windows here. Look at the side elevation. What's that?
There's nothing there.
Oh, there's these silly arched windows. Oh, you don't have that.
Yeah,
So we did
it's
that.
here.
That's here, I saw it.
Yeah, we're taking those out. And we're adding these two. Nicer look. I thought that was kind of strange. In the back, we're just adding some sliders, here and here.
Or
Yeah,
about
There's
here?
there's sliders there, but we're just doing a little bit bigger, more natural light for that.
This is the one?
Yeah.
This is the rare image.
That's a better picture there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone else's.
So this is good.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Mhm.
So the deck is already there, we're just, making more bigger openings. 2 fixed panels and then, just, and then, 2 operable doors,
This
2
is,
fixed
yeah,
panels.
it seems like, it's just I need to understand totality of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it, so
Well,
that's
first was it just this, so what's new on the back, this and this,
correct,
and up here is all existing?
that's all existing, that's correct.
And the deck, the railing, you just didn't put in. Yeah.
I didn't show it because I wanted to show so what I'm doing is just cutting through the deck without showing the railing because it's already there. I thought it was more important to see the windows in the
And
doors.
underneath there was.
Those are underneath, those are
Yeah.
there. They're underneath the deck, you can't really see it.
Is there a step down?
There's one step there, yeah. It's because this living room is stepped down already, so
Mhm.
it's already there.
And these are also bigger.
Those are all there, yeah.
This one is bigger. This one is proposing bigger.
New window, existing. That's right.
Is this original to the house or is this
Yeah.
a renovation? This
Oh, I don't
weird
know.
glass piece?
Yeah, I don't know. It's,
President,
the staircase was always there, so I'm thinking it is original.
is that a staircase?
It's part of the staircase. I don't think that was added later.
Okay.
Thought it was pretty neat.
That was the
More
one, yeah.
windows, more windows.
It's an improvement.
It's good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. You wanna hold on to the picture?
Sure. Never know how to come back.
Thanks for your help. Thank you. Good night.
Have a good one.
All right, take care of it.
They're all-
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, it's like.
Next one is 25 Attitash.
It's
Oh,
not-
wow.
Attitash.
Interesting.
Mhm. Mhm. They'll just probably add it to it.
Hello.
Morning. Are you the architect?
Yes, John Malone, Ferguson Malone Architect. So the project is for a very small addition, like a little expansion. It was an exterior deck on this Corbusian sort of international style thing. We even had like a stone wall that was curved in the front of it, but which we kind of love about it. So we're just enclosing that section. We don't think it has a huge impact on the project. Sort of turning what was an exterior porch into a sunroom portion of the primary bedroom.
Back here in this corner.
Yeah, just back in the corner. Yeah, so
And
you
making
can see-
everything look like part of the house and.
Yeah, everything else is match existing. The windows we're trying to match existing. There's sort of aluminum windows. These.
This is not. That's what he's doing.
No, it's upstairs.
Where is that?
My copy especially visible.
Are you filling in this notch or is it adding on the whole thing?
No, it's only the second floor balcony.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, this one. Oh.
Just completing the shape, right?
right.
Mhm.
So you can see it here a little bit,
Mhm.
right? That it's filled in. That'll be glass.
Yeah, better photo.
It's really hard to see those things. It might be easier to sort of understand from the elevations, which I think are the last two pages, so sort of compare it. If you go to the last couple pages of the set, there's sort of two elevations. to here, you can see that's the balcony open rail. It's facing that side and that's being filled in. And then on the other elevation.
So this is all proposed.
The only area of work is this small area of work here. So here,
Is this it here? Yeah.
that's it, yeah. So this little balcony here is being closed up.
So that, oh, I see.
Yeah, it's,
Straightforward to me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had better photos of the notch, but.
the thing about that is the
It's
property is
up
so
high.
steep
It's up
that you
high.
can't actually get any photos from it,
Right.
even from a distance, there's street photos and stuff, so I think that's why it was difficult to look at just.
No, it's great.
Yeah,
Good
that's
job.
straightforward.
Very good.
Are there architects here, I'm assuming, right? So the balcony is made up of the same floor framing that was the actual floor, and they just ran the floor out and put like a asphalt based tar on it. Yeah, it's great, so the whole thing is an absolute disaster, so
Yeah, I
at
can
least
imagine.
we're gonna put a roof over it now,
Wow.
so
Wow,
that'll
that's
fix
good,
it.
that's great.
But-
Come on.
Excellent,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Have a good night.
No, it's just I think it's really good.
Just
Oh,
hang it
don't.
to,
No,
Yeah.
which is
Next one is 610 Piper Street. Are you the architect?
I'm the architect, I'm the
What?
homeowner.
I just
There you go. Architecture is on home.
Make this quick and easy.
An easy night so far.
So, I'm Michael Vivas, this is my wife Jillian, the homeowners of 610 Quaker Road, the architect. Just to give you a little background, we closed on this house in December of 2023, going foreclosure. Some of you may be aware of this property, it's been, I think, the talk of town. A lot of people that we've run into and spoken to know about the history of this house.
Just up in the corner?
No. It's right around the bend, almost at the bottom of the hill, on Quaker Road.
What's the history of the house?
So this is all.
So it was built in 52, I think, by the original homeowner. The original homeowner was foreclosed on, went through bankruptcy and was sold through auction. We had to go through a very lengthy eviction process and actually only gained control of the home in May of this year. So went through the design process and are now, submitting for permits so that we can start renovation as soon as possible. This is gonna be our primary home, it's our first home, so this isn't an investment property. A lot of these decisions have been, thoroughly thought through with a lot of time, heart and dedication. We're planning to, renovate both the interior and exterior. The home has pretty much been neglected for a while now, I think the foreclosure lasted close to a decade. So, it took a while to finally complete the foreclosure. Went through a pretty lengthy process. So in terms of the exterior of the home, we're planning to re-side the house, James Hardy, board and batten.
You can walk us through the elevations if you want.
Oh, sure.
It's easier this way.
Are you expanding the house at all?
No expansion, just renovation of the interior and exterior, so no added square footage. First elevation.
Window replacements.
Full window replacement.
No roof changes other than material?
There is a new roof change. We're gonna create a better entryway over the front entrance, so it'll be a porch with stone steps. And then a small little architectural shed roof above the garage where you don't see any existing now, just adds a little more architectural detail.
Solar panels, solar panels there?
Yeah,
This
that's
is
currently designed to be integrated GAF solar shingles. Those have virtually no sight line, and they look like they basically blend in with the typical asphalt shingle. So we're following the same roof pitch as the adjacent room above the garage for that porch extension. Full window replacement, we're adding a few windows on some of the elevations, so rear elevation, we're adding a window. And one of the side elevations, we're adding a window.
You get to erase 2 window shutters, or you have 2 windows with shutters.
No, those are the existing elevations.
Oh, those are exactly.
Proposed as above. So the window replacements are gonna be high efficiency, triple glazed casements with black buttons. So the overall, redesign is pretty traditional, clean aesthetic. Think it's contextual to the neighborhood and, the community. I think it's better than the pink shingles that are there today. It's also important to note we're doing a complete overhaul of the HVAC system. So we're doing geothermal heating and cooling. Believe that's already been submitted and permitted, and we're on the schedule for drilling in September. So the home's gonna be fully electric, gonna get off oil and fossil fuels, so.
That's great.
Yeah, pretty excited. This,
Yeah, that's great improvements.
we're anxious to, get this thing permitted and started and hopefully move in before the end of the year.
Are you increasing the thermal envelope?
Yeah, we're adding insulation at the exterior wall where we can, where we're actually doing, work, and some of the, attic to meet the stretch code requirements.
Looks good to me.
Very
It's
good.
good. Excellent.
Nice.
Good.
All right.
Nice. Good
Appreciate
luck
it.
and
Thank you.
Good luck.
congratulations. Thank you
Good
so
luck.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, wait.
All right, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Really, I don't know.
What?
No comments.
I mean, it just shows very straightforward. They are prepared and thought through. It's
Why can't I get up here? Tell me to change my thing.
Is 33 West Orchard, you come in?
Architect, homeowner, contractor.
Contractor, we're from the architect's office.
What is your name?
Frank Bueno, Indira Polanco and Josh.
Frank Bueno?
Yes, D-U-N-O.
Okay, and you?
Indira.
Can you spell it? Can you spell your name?
INDHIRA.
And your last name?
Polanco.
Can you spell that?
POLANCO.
Okay. And you're from the architect's office?
Yes.
What's this, the house?
That is the house. There is actually a plan, but sorry, we're not 100% ready. We just told the last minute that we're presenting today, so
That's
I'll be rushed over here. So it is a one-family home. Basically, the owner is just looking to give it a little more appeal to the front of the house. So we added 3 dormers at the front. Currently, let me pull up the photo. Currently, this is the front of the house. So what we're doing is adding just 3 dormers. A front portico and just 3 dormers and the front portico over the front, or the entrance door. That's true. I know it says the new open porch, but as I was sending the contractor when we were outside, the wording should be portico, because there's no access to it. The window from the dormer doesn't really provide access to it. It's only for sure. It's for the attic. We're not creating habitable spaces.
Nothing on the 2 sides and the back.
Nothing on the 2 sides. At the back, we are doing, they have a patio. And they do have, I would think, what we put a picture.
Rear elevation in this drawing set?
There's no rear elevation, I'm sure I have a photo of the rear.
But are you doing any work to the rear?
To the rear of the house? No, we're not doing it.
Oh, I thought you said, okay, so no work to the rear.
Just
nothing.
the terrace. The terrace, back over here. That's it.
Just landscape.
Just landscape, yeah,
Landscape.
that's it.
That's landscape.
The plan, so we can understand it, yeah. Yes, site plan.
There is.
So you're just putting stone in the ground?
Yes.
What's there now, grass?
No, they have stone already on this section, we just enlarging this section of stone. And for the additional impervious surface, we creating a retention tank, that's on this side.
Okay, are you on the level of pervious coverage?
Yes. I can answer that too quick. That is a question that I do not have an answer for.
Tom will check over that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering why he's putting it in.
Well,
Retention.
what happened is that the owner,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, is that the grade elevation for this property is lower than the neighbors. So this owner, when they get downpour, rainwater from the neighbor goes onto their property, so they want a way to, stop the pooling that gets in this area. So that's why they added the retention.
You probably had a pool the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Is that- Can you see that, Tom? Is that documented well enough for you to approve it?
No, there's not enough documentation for that, yes. But this can go to engineering as well, so what he's talking about.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
This is the building inspector.
I've got the plans up on the screen, I'm trying to follow along. It's not really clear.
Yeah, it's not to me either. It seems benign when he says it, but I don't know that Well, the patio and
There is-
this retention basin.
There is, if you see page 7, plan set, there is a more elaborated
That's bad. The rainwall collection ditch. I see you're creating like a gutter in the ground to go into a pipe and
Is
get
that
into the basin.
correct? Yes.
Okay, I get it. It's dry well is this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I get it. Comments on the dormers, anybody?
No, I think it helps.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
Nice little interesting section of the roof.
You're also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you, bye-bye.
That it?
That's it.
Don't get any comment on anything.
That was fast.
Yeah.
We'll leave the rest.
We could have added a few more, Tom.
We could have, that was quick. Very, very efficient tonight.
They applied yesterday.
Yeah, 2 things. So one is we're not meeting in the next meeting.
No, so our next meeting will be September 4th.
Okay, right at the Labor Day. The other assignment, Wanna talk about signage?
Almost like.
Sure, yeah.
So Joe and I were talking about signage and Joe's volunteered to kind of spearhead.
Volunteered to take on the signage review.
To rewrite it or?
Was that the deal to
Well,
get back on the board?
First I need to understand
I
it.
worked him over.
First I need to understand it, right? And then, just get it a little bit,
Which town are you looking at?
this is,
I have,
Ours.
I have the other towns.
yeah.
They're from 2013. I'm sure they may have changed, so
Mhm.
if you need me to look up any other town codes, let me know.
I pulled some already from
Okay.
Bronxville, Scarsdale,
That's what you had.
Castle,
Yeah.
so we don't have any sort of visual guidelines for our signage, do we?
No, I don't think anybody else. I haven't seen any other town. There's
Do we
always-
think that would complement or would help
I don't know if the lawyers would accept it. It
No.
would for us.
as a guideline, not part of this, or as at least?
Who's the attorney now? Is it Lino?
Lino.
No, okay,
Lino is our town council, correct, Tom?
That is correct, yes.
Alright, is he allowed to, he works for me in private, project for me, am I allowed, is that a conflict of interest? He is
I
actually.
think so, we're on the same team.
Okay, I think so too, I'm just, full disclosure, he represents me on a project.
As long as you're not doing that project in the town, we'd be fine.
No, it's not even in the county.
Oh, we have no problem.
So I can email Lino and ask him if we're allowed to include graphics in it, because I don't want you to waste your time.
Yeah.
If it's not permitted by the lawyers.
Well, they started to go down that road with the, whatever that rezoning thing was.
The
They had some,
form-based code?
yeah, they had some graphic type,
Yeah,
but that
was-
that's
that was
yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think, the graphics could go in any direction, right? It could be as simple as, something like this, not this, right? Or, I don't think we wanna dictate the font to use or the size, right? We want them to provide
Yeah.
something that can work well with all the existing stuff that's in here and, not be a detriment to what has been done.
I think it's almost better if it's textual and more broad-based and more interpretive.
Yeah.
We can,
I think we,
But at the same time,
I
I
started-
think clear for people,
Clear,
because I
yeah,
think people are confused and they don't know, and they have to come and we don't know.
Confused with the stuff that's in here already?
Yeah.
well, they go straight to the, I'm gonna go straight to the sign people,
Mhm.
sign people, tell them, this is what you need.
But if we have standards of quality of material,
Exactly.
if we have, it's gotta be three-dimensional as opposed to flat, are we allowed to ban certain things, like you can't have just a decal on metal?
Well, I think that's what we need. I think I started taking pictures just in the downtown district or whatever,
Mhm.
and it'd be good just to get an idea of what we actually have and what we like and don't like, and then we can isolate. It's like we don't like these types, and then start moving
right, but I
away
But I
from
think if you
that.
say, the sign has to have some dimension or some three-dimensional aspect to it, that just rules out any two-dimensional thing, but doesn't rule out all two-dimensional signage, like that last woman who's doing some, not the facial woman, but the other, are we all fine?
No.
The one that came in.
So the sign up near, across from
Lang's.
Walgreens, yeah, next to Lang, so the letters were three-dimensionals, but there was another set of letters that were just decals, which was fine because it would be too complicated. So we don't wanna rule stuff out like that.
Okay, well, fine, so if you say it has to have some texture, some third dimension.
Yeah.
It could be a portion of it, not all of it.
Right. You don't wanna say all
Right,
of
okay,
it.
great. And do we want, do you guys have feelings on backlighting versus indirect lighting or versus, you don't want a light box, right?
No,
So, I guess the probably is the right way to look at it, is that what are the things we want, what do we don't want, and we
Yeah.
can put into words,
Mhm.
to steer people
well,
in the right direction.
they can be, yeah, we can say that the white boxes are not permitted, that's a, like, in many codes, there you have things that are not permitted, so.
If-
Things
if-
that are specific, but I think, yeah, I agree with the two dimension.
If we're gonna attack this now, Tom, should we include a conversation on the storefront glass and what's permitted and not, or do you think that's separate, that's not part of signage? Because we always talk about people shouldn't put posters or letters or stuff in the storefront windows, where does that show up?
That is part of signage, because we only
Yeah.
allow 15% of the coverage to be signage. Yeah, that would be incorporated.
Absolutely, I think so too, because that's
Maybe
part
there's
of
a
the
section
signage.
about
Strike that.
storefront windows, what's permitted, what's not permitted in storefront windows.
I think there's something with that.
But you know, people sometimes put it on those windows, so it's not nice. But
Okay,
like-
so maybe any window,
Yeah, just,
just glass.
yeah, maybe. So you can have signs from, you know, from the inside out.
Yeah.
Or from.
So I think if they delete, I'm sure we all be happy to look at your drafts and comment to it, I would try to do that, I'm sure we could all find some time for that. And I assume that it's turned over to the town board, but I'm gonna just
I
assume
know that
they
they're
will-
not meeting again until, they have a meeting next week, but I know that they're not meeting again until September also.
But I like to think they would support the effort in a sense, so to speak, or present it when we think it's presentable. If we think I need to go to them and say we wanna do this, is it okay?
Tom, they would need to meet with the town board, correct?
For approval to change the code,
Yeah, we would, the town board has to vote to approve the change.
that is correct. So you, I guess the question is, do you need to go to ask permission to approve the change, or do you want to get started and then ask approvals for the changes?
That's another thing, so I guess my question is, do we think it's okay, I kind of think it is, but I'm asking the group, to go through an internal effort to go then present to the town board, or do we wanna go to town board and say, are you guys willing to entertain, you know, changes to the signage code? And if you are, we're willing to take a stab at it.
I
just
like
think
the latter gives full disclosure, because if they don't feel there's a problem, they may shut us down ahead of time. So yes, I think you're correct. We should go to the town board first and just make the mention that we'd like permission, or it may just be a conversation with the supervisor. Just saying, this is what we're thinking, you know.
And should I just email Vicky, or should I show up with Joe at one of their public, or workshop sessions?
I think an email first would be appropriate, just to let her know what we're planning to do. You know, because when we change our zoning codes, we generally go through our council and then it gets approved by the town board after the fact.
Right.
A sign code is so antiquated, it's due for an update, so either way, you're gonna be safe. It would be nice to, I guess the best way is just to run it by Lino and see what he says, but I don't think we're gonna have a problem either way. So either an email to Vicky saying, hey, we are going down this road. There has been a push for the West End Advisory Committee to see more things in Millwood, so that code too is antiquated, but it's probably one of the newer ones, other than Chappaqua Crossing.
Well, for instance, the Chico, whatever zoning, whatever signage code governs the Chico supermarket area, would that not be the same code that governs here?
Well, currently it is not, because there is different codes. We have one for crossings, one for the Millwood Design Group, and then the Village of Chappaqua is basically the code in play now that we follow. So there's three we're following, different.
I don't think we're gonna change Chappaqua Crossing, I wouldn't wanna touch that, that's new and that took forever, and I think that's.
And that
But I think it looks nice generally. But if Millwood, can we get a copy of that, do you have that?
So we'll get you those, yeah, because we have the copies, and the Millwood Design Guidelines are more of a wood architecture type of a sign, you know, engraved, is what they're looking for. There's a lot of historic signs that are not that, but that's what, you know, we had this problem with the Chestnut Markets. You know, originally they came to your board asking to put up signage that was different than the wood, and eventually we had to go to the zoning board to override the architectural review board because it didn't work for their marketing. So it would be good to look at both Chappaqua Village and Millwood. And if you want to unify them together, that's great.
Yeah, I see no reason they should be different than anybody else.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Good.
And I agree with you. the crossings is unique to itself, and we don't need to manipulate that at all.
Alright, so what did we decide? Can we'll work on this ever and then present it, or should I tell
No,
Vicky
just,
first?
no, that you send
have
an
an
email,
informal.
I'll
just
email
an-
Vicky and tell her?
Yeah, and just see what's
Yeah.
their feedback.
Yeah, I don't want Lino sending the town a bill for a quarter hour because he talked to me without my telling that. you know.
I think an email to the supervisor is a great idea. So she may have ideas,
Yeah, just say that that's what we're up to and if they, what
Okay.
do they think, what's the, if they are.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that it, to Tom's point, it is dated, right, and it is due for an update, I think that's the why right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you don't wanna show that you've done a lot of work behind their backs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I-
that's always, not a good.
Alright, so I'll email Vicky first. I'll CC the group, I'll CC all you guys. And then if she says it's okay, which I assume she will, I'll call Lino for a couple of guidance questions and then you can get started, and if you want to take some photos and share it, then you want.
Yeah, I'll dig up the other ones that I've already done.
You've been waiting for this moment. Yeah.
we talked about it.
No, it's just a little inventory of what we have.
Yeah, because we no longer have a problem with neon. You'd be hard pressed to find neon. But the LEDs and the intensity of the LEDs, we need to address.
Well, it's basically neon.
Right, a lot of the stuff that is technically permitted, it really looks like something that isn't permitted and that should be cleaned up.
Exactly.
Okay, should I copy the whole town board or just keep it simple and go to Vicky?
Just,
I
Judgment.
keep it simple, just our intentions that we'd like to look at our sign code. If she's got questions, she'll come back. If she feels the board needs to get involved, I think they're gonna get involved once we present the changes, because Lino will sugarcoat it for us before it goes in front of the board.
Okay.
Any examples that you can incorporate in that would help applicants would be very helpful. Like you did for the crossings, you gave colors, samples, styles. It makes the explaining a lot easier. Like, it's got to look like this, and people can follow guidelines.
Right,
Okay.
that part would be a guide versus the actual code.
Yeah, I think the town board in some presentation would want to see what we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like anybody else, even though it turns out the word at the end of the day.
Oh, this is great. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Tom.
thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Good morning.
Good, Tom, thanks.
Good night.
Nice to see you guys.